Hello, everyone. How we doing on this fine Sunday night? Soldier Boy, I love that name. Finished watching it just very recently. I am doing great. Thank you, Knack. For those of you that are new to the Discord, right, we've had a lot of newcomers, and of course, I did a small announcement just to give you guys an idea of what we do here. But if it's your first time within our live events, I would like to first welcome you. Welcome to the club. We're very happy to have you. But these are not necessarily related to statistics. I do want to be open, straightforward with that. These are related specifically to my own personal trading. Every single week, we have an outlook. Everything is posted on YouTube. And we also do price action reviews based on the high probability trading days, which can be found on YouTube as well. And if you head over to the projects, to the Rice trading model, you can find how I view price, how I trade these markets. There is a complete YouTube video on it, as well as a Twitter thread as to what I define as high probability trading days. Today, we'll also be speaking on this because the website that I personally utilize for to know which news events are present has recently changed the impact of the news. So we like to refer to high impact news events as red folder due to this specific website. I'll share the screenshot right here. It is Forex Factory, which can be found in my official links section specifically. But with Forex Factory, I utilize red folder news to establish days that will be very volatile, and those are the days that I want to concentrate on. Just in general, this is how I interact with the markets. But they have changed some red folder news to orange folder news. Like, for example, the University of Michigan's consumer sentiment is now an orange folder news. Now, I might be wrong on this one, but new home sales, well, home sales is actually red folder news. They might have changed the name as well. But there are a lot of different interactions with news now. And for now, my framework remains the same. I look at the type of news specifically. If you want to know which news were high impact and which news are no longer high impact, you can refer to basically scroll up in the announcement where I've shared previously all of the pictures, as you can see, like this, and you'll be able to see the differences. But for example, for me this week, I will be concentrating my trading on Thursday and Friday, with Monday and Tuesday being an A day. So I grade days based on A plus, A minus, and I like to engage when I'm more aggressive. So on my more aggressive account, which I tend to trade more, I will also be looking for trades Monday and Tuesday with half sizing. Why Monday? Because it is the start of the week, and where we are in price currently, I expect expansion, right? So we're going to talk about it. And yes, more specifically, Brian, based on the weekly range, I expect Monday will be doing some sort of temporary extreme for the week. Of course, once we look at price here in a second, we'll dive into it. But this is pretty big changes, so I did want to speak on it before we dove into it. And we'll have Thursday and Friday PA reviews for the week, so they will also be added to our events right after this call, which I realize that sometimes it is not very intuitive, but at the top of the channel list, you can find events. And if you click on it, you'll find that I will add the PA reviews, but that's also where you can find the weekly Outlook event. Sorry, had quite a bit weekend, guys, with launch. I'm glad you guys enjoy the app for those that have access to it currently, but it has taken a lot of energy. So feeling quite tired. It's gonna take me a few days to get back into it fully. So I apologize for my voice and otherwise. Now, enough talking around, right? Specifically, let's talk about price. What is unfortunate is that our plan remains the same. Well, I guess it could be fortunate, right? For the last few weeks, and just looking at price right now, I'm looking right here. Since mid-September, my bias has remained the same. Well, since we took out these relative equal highs more specifically, right? We discussed a lot about it. We were inside higher time frame inefficiencies. I'm referring to the weekly fair value gap that is present at this level. So for me, I wanted to see distribution lower from this point on, which we barely got for a week before going back to bullish prices. So the outlook remains the same. We are bullish until proven otherwise. And what would mean proven otherwise, I want to see us expand past my retracement objectives. If not, I'm framing longs and I'm framing shorts into retracement objectives during the week, of course, following the weekly development. So first anticipation would be that we are going for this high. But if we look at ES very quickly, we can notice that we have SMT. Now, seeing as we opened it between this wick, more specifically, right, we do not seem to be respecting the swing point. More specifically as well, if you look at the next day, right here, Friday's range at this level, you can see that we traded back up into this. If I wanted to see an important high form out of this SMT, I would like to see the next candle over confirm that this level will be respected by expanding away. But this is not what we got. So I do not anticipate that this SMT will hold. I expect that we will be targeting this liquidity above very clearly. But currently there is SMT, so I would anticipate some more high resistance until this level specifically is taken out. Once it is, same thing. Anticipate buy side. Be ready to take short retracements. To give you guys a cleaner idea of this, I am going to refer to the previous week because I had a lengthy talk with a student actually and a friend recently about how I interacted with last week's range. And I believe that in this instance, it is actually very useful for you guys to know this. Nothing changes. I'm always interacting with the market the same way. I need premium and discount. I need my first discount and efficiency in a case of a bullish range, for first premium and efficiency for a bearish range. So just so I can showcase this to you guys. And this is my retracement objective. A few weeks ago, and this is all available on YouTube, as I stated right through our recordings, a few weeks ago, we looked at this and our retracement objective, for example, for this range, let me just delete this, was our premium order block, our first premium in efficiency. We hit that level, and then do I anticipate it to be respected or not? It depends of course, higher time frame context. But if we move forward here and actually, let me just skip a few candles, you can see that we traded down from it. And then the very next day, we went all the way back into it, showing us that we are not respecting this level. So this tells me now that I have a higher objective. And if we look at the following week, which was last week specifically, we can see the same thing. Early in the week, we expanded higher, formed an important extreme. At this point in time, we had, if I'm not mistaken, big SMT. Yes, exactly, SMT at all-time highs. So I can't believe I forgot about that specifically. But we had higher time frame SMT. We just took out liquidity, previous month's high. This is all stuff we have discussed in the past, right? So important level in liquidity, SMT is present, and at a key time. And when referring to the daily chart, we know that Monday, especially if you have the right statistics app now, has a very high likelihood of forming an extreme of the week for our indices here, NASDAQ and ES specifically that I'm referring to, but for most markets as well. Following this, you could frame shorts up till when? My retracement objectives. Doesn't have to be an order block, but in this case, it is once again an order block. Why is it this specific in efficiency? Because it is the first level, my first PD array in discount. I am staying on a daily chart the entire time. This is my level. Once that retracement objective is met, we're either going to continue higher because we are bullish, we are going to distribute, or we are going to expand past this level to start targeting lower liquidity, which is also something I was looking for last week. I was ready for both, I was stating with if then statements what I want to see and how I will react to these things. In this case, we clearly respected it. We had a nice rise model that actually formed on Wednesday, but it wasn't a trading day necessarily. If we look at the continuation from this move, I anticipate us to keep going up. Now, we could see an early week consolidation, right? Due to the fact, as we stated, that we have SMT, which for me, I don't anticipate we will respect. So we could trade inside of this range. I do want to just mark it out with a very nice premium discount. And let me actually leave replay mode so we can see things a little bit better. Looking at this, we could trade within this range, form a consolidation all the way into midweek to then form an extreme. What I'd like to see is see us trade back down here so that we could then have some very nice long opportunities. But the main thing that I will also be framing is that we might just expand very aggressively higher right off the bat, right at the beginning of the week, and talking specifically Monday, Tuesday. In this case, if we start expanding higher, I'm going to look for retracements opportunities short. So for example, Thursday, which is a day that oftentimes retraces into the range if the previous days have just expanded in the same direction. So for classic weeks that just are trending weeks, Thursday is often a retracement. So I will frame retracement objectives. And if this level is not yet met, I will look to continue trading long. How will I find high probability objectives? Well, with standard deviations and of course with liquidity. So even though we have SMT at these highs currently, we keep trading higher and higher. We've had SMT at this high, if I plot it on ES right here, since September 19th. So since here. But we keep going higher, just with high resistance. So until we are ready to go short, until we are ready to have a low resistance liquidity run lower to these nice consolidation areas that we can target with relative equal levels, then I just anticipate us to keep doing the same thing. Go higher, high resistance retracements lower. Does that make any sense for you guys? Clear objectives will adjust to what price does, more specifically in what order price goes. Not seeing any questions in chat, so I will take this as an all clear. All right. Well, I'm glad that it was straightforward enough. It's definitely a week that will be a little weirder to manage, which is why I will wait till the end of the week to have full sizing and to take this into consideration. I do want to take a second and say that if you guys saw in general chat, Crucial shared a thread about how Apex are changing their rules. It's not last minute necessarily, but they changed it and announced it over the weekend. And now there are a bunch of new, well, not new rules necessarily, but there are changes to certain rules and adaptations of rules that are changed. And I'm not yet familiar with them. So I will not be trading my Apex accounts at all early in the week. I will familiarize myself with the rules. And definitely, if you want to know more about the rules, Brian Stonk on Twitter, I'll send the link in general chat if you guys want it, did a great thread about it. He is a trusted source, in my opinion. What props do you recommend nowadays? Same thing I have always said. For me, Top Step is always going to be on top. They are the most trustworthy, in my personal opinion, and I'm not affiliated with them currently. I am going to try at some point. I just do want to say that they're not paying me to tell you guys this. This is for me as a trader, as a prop firm trader that utilizes a prop firm. I have never had issues. Payouts have been quick, never had them questions, never had issues with the rules, and that end of day trailing drawdown gives you a lot more room to hold your trades. Because if you're always scared that your drawdown is going to hit, I don't mind taking a $2,000-$3,000 swing on a trade that I'm up 10K on, right? If I have a huge home run trade and I'm holding my runner, then I want to be able to hold it and not be scared that it's I'm forgetting the word for it, but it's going back and forth between being up 11 grand, down, well, up 9 grand, and that $2,000 flickering would stress me on an Apex account just due to the live trailing threshold. So they're different conditions. They are more expensive due to that fact also. And I'm also checking into my funded futures. I just don't like the fact that they only allow payouts from RisePay currently. But definitely, if I had one recommendation to give, it would be TopStep. And trust me, with TopStep, you should not be going through multiple accounts. Their conditions are very favorable. If you are profitable, you have your edge, and you have tested your edge and proven your edge in demo money, you should be able to pass a TopStep account. Thank you. And Sam, yes, I do not like how the live trailing threshold changes my trading, how I'm more aggressive with my take profits. I have to be careful to make sure I can't leave runners on with a wide stop loss, for example. So it is favorable because they allow for a lot of capital, and there is a point where every trader's goal is to start scaling up now that they have proven profitability and traded for a while and have the experience behind it. But definitely would recommend TopStep for beginning traders. And just if you don't already have props and you're trying to get into props, TopStep is definitely the way to go. This turned into an advertisement. I'm sorry, guys. This is boring stuff, but it is the reality of us traders here utilizing props. There are a lot of rules, there are a lot of uncertainty, but if you want someone trustworthy, I would recommend them. It was my question after all. Yes, indeed, you're right, Wolfie. But yeah, the prop firm specifically, this is where we're going. Do we have any final questions before we leave each other tonight? Awesome, guys. Well, thank you all for coming. Always glad to have you all with us. As I stated, I'll be adding the price action reviews events to our events tab. So hopefully we will see each other in the end of the week. Have a great night, guys. Good luck trading this week.